Now to the latest out of Springfield, where police officers investigating a double murder early this morning found themselves the targets of gunfire. Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle live for us tonight in Springfield with what happened there. Glenn.
Chris, police responded to Union Street for a reported double homicide, but as they started their investigation, gunfire rang out, nearly hitting the officers. Just after midnight on Wednesday morning, police responded to reports of a double homicide on Union Street in Springfield. Police say upon arriving at the scene, officers entered a Union Street apartment and found 2 people dead. Less than 2 hours later, gunshots were fired near the crime scene at the intersection of School and High Street. Springfield Police Superintendent Cheryl Clapper tells Western Mass News the automatic gunfire was shot in the direction of the investigating officers.
It's a full court press because it's a very dangerous situation now for any innocent victim walking around. They were just spraying that gunfire out a window. Clapper adds Springfield Police who were on the scene when the shots were fired had bullets whizzing by them. Springfield Police spokesperson Ryan Walsh adding more detail, saying in part, quote, detectives reviewing video showed the incident began with a group of people exchanging words, then one individual entered a car. That is when one suspect began shooting at the car as it sped away. A second suspect is seen firing a gun in the direction of the officers who were responding to the initial gunfire. Several suspects were detained. The 2 shooting suspects were able to flee on foot. Clapper tells us Springfield Police will leave no stone unturned to solve both of these crimes. I'm planning to get everybody that I can, Paul, which would mean all of our task force, the sheriffs, we have ATF, we have DEA, we have SAFE from the district attorney's office. We got a lot of different help coming in.
Meanwhile, the Hamden District Attorney's Office is investigating the murder case.
There was, in fact, a double homicide in the early morning hours discovered, at least this morning, by the Springfield Police Department. My office is working in conjunction with the Springfield Police Department Homicide Unit to investigate the matter.
The identities and the manners of those the deaths of the 2 homicide victims has not been released. We'll continue to follow this case and bring you the latest information as we receive it. Reporting live in Springfield, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.